Good Friday evening, everyone. It is June 16th, and we have more severe weather to talk about. This is just I feel like it's like that movie, The Groundhog's Day, where we can continuously wake up and it's the same thing over and over and over. And we're getting lots of property damage out there. We've had tornadoes. It's ripped up some towns out in Oklahoma yesterday, as well as parts of Texas, even huge hailstones in excess of 4 to 5 inches in diameter. We're talking softball. We had DVD size hail. Uh, diameter size hail yesterday. It was just crazy, crazy week it has been, and it's going to continue tonight into tomorrow and into throughout the whole weekend. So first, let's hit that like button, that thumbs up. Share this with your friends and family. We got to get the word out to everyone about the more severe weather coming. And please comment where you're from. We'd love to hear from you. Now let's get right into the weather. All right, as usual, we're going to start out with a national hazards map. We have severe thunderstorm watch back here in parts of Colorado. We have flash flood advisories and warnings out here towards southern Missouri into Arkansas with some training of storms. Basically, with this line that's going basically slow moving. It's going northeast at about 15 miles an hour. A lot of them just been stationary as well. So it's dumping 3, 4, 5 inches of rain within a few hours' time across these localized areas. Now we have a severe thunderstorm watch down here towards Mississippi and Alabama and Florida. And then we have excessive heat warnings and heat advisories out here for Texas as they are baking, and over towards Louisiana as well. So they're baking as this high pressure pushes in, and we have a nice little subtropical jet coming in and then rounding the base up here towards Colorado and then coming screaming down through Oklahoma and then Arkansas down towards the southeast. This pattern has been ongoing for about a week now, and it's going to continue this weekend with more severe weather possible, like I said. And here we go again for parts of Oklahoma into Arkansas as we go into Saturday. This is tomorrow. So there's an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms across Oklahoma and portions of far southern Kansas, northeastern panhandle of Texas here, and then far northeastern parts of Texas as well, and far western Arkansas. And then on the outskirts of that, there's slight risk all the way through most of Arkansas, or basically the western three quarters, southwest Missouri, up through southern Kansas, and then down through Dallas over to Shreveport as well. So severe thunderstorms is expected across portions of the central and southern plains Saturday through Saturday night, with additional strong to severe thunderstorms possible along the central Gulf Coast over to Florida. And I'll get to that here in just a second. But I want to highlight this main risk for Saturday across basically all Oklahoma. You're under enhanced risk, and we'll see what happens. We may get another upgrade to a moderate risk. We'll see. We went from a slight risk the other day across Texas, Oklahoma, and I was telling you all there's going to be a huge upgrade from the Storm Prediction Center, and it happened within 6 hours. They upgraded from a slight risk to a moderate risk. And you saw some of those nasty hailstones, lots of property damage, big tornadoes coming through Oklahoma, parts of Texas, just crazy, crazy weather happening for this time of year across the South. Here's a tornado risk for tomorrow. It's not zero, but it's there. It's 2%. Basically, you could see a tornado with 2% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of any given radius here across this area, across the Texas Oklahoma panhandles, down here to southeastern parts of Colorado, southwestern parts of Kansas, and far northeast parts of New Mexico. Here's one of the most significant risks tomorrow is straight line winds, probably in excess of 80 miles per hour, yet again across Oklahoma and parts of southern Kansas. Where this black hatched is, you're going to see, significant winds of 70 to 80 plus miles an hour, which is hurricane force across most of Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, up towards Woodward, just northwest of McAllister, Oklahoma. And on the outskirts of that, you could still get some very severe winds through the rest of Oklahoma, parts of western Arkansas as well. Even over toward even though the threat is diminishing over towards Little Rock, but it's not there. You could still get some nasty winds that way. So, and this will be mostly pushing towards an overnight event as you get towards Arkansas and after basically afternoon through the evening in parts of Oklahoma and northern Texas here. And another big hail day is expected tomorrow from Dallas all the way up to Oklahoma City, Tulsa to McAllister, Ardmore, Oklahoma, Lawton. Lawton got hit pretty bad yesterday as well. And here we go again. So Wichita Falls, Texas, up towards the far eastern parts of the Panhandle of Texas, up towards the Oklahoma Panhandle, far southern Kansas, and then the extreme risk backs off, but it's still there throughout Arkansas and western Arkansas, southwestern Missouri, northwestern northwestern parts of Louisiana, northeast Texas. So please stay weather aware. We got to have a way to get warnings. This nasty, nasty storms that are happening, and it keeps on happening across the area. We'll get towards the southeastern United States here in just a second because there is risks out there for the next couple days as well. I just want to highlight Sunday as well. Sunday, most of Arkansas, northeastern parts of Louisiana, getting into Mississippi. This is including Memphis as well. Slight risk of severe storms there. Outskirts of that, just an marginal risk on the outside or outskirts of that slight risk as well. Bleeding into Oklahoma and parts of Texas up to southern Missouri, and then bleeding east. We'll get to that here in just. All right, so this is tomorrow's risk. As you can see, all the enhanced risk up here towards Arkansas and Oklahoma. We're going to have slight risk basically from the central to through the Florida Panhandle into the peninsula of Florida here, from Orlando, Tampa up towards Jacksonville, over towards Pensacola Beach, Mobile, Alabama, over towards Gulf Shores as well, Dothan. So another big severe weather day down here as well. And in between, you got a marginal risk basically from parts of Mississippi in through eastern Arkansas and northern half or so of Louisiana. Atlanta, just from Atlanta back up to Nashville, Huntsville, just some general thunderstorms. You may have an outside chance of a severe storm here or there, but just watch out for there. This is Saturday. It's risk. All right, as we move into Sunday, here's a slight risk basically from Memphis, Tupelo, Mississippi, over to Jackson, Vicksburg, over towards Montgomery, Alabama, just right by Birmingham here. And then bleeding back into northern parts of Louisiana and Arkansas. Slight risk on Sunday. Expecting big hail again, and some strong damaging winds and isolated tornado possible across this area on Sunday. Now, over the next 7 days, a lot of rain still to happen over Florida, parts of Georgia, Alabama, over toward Mississippi, 2 to 4 inches, possibly locally 5 to 6 inches possible across this area. And then as you get back into Arkansas, Missouri, parts of Kansas, 1 to 2 inches is possible, with some isolated 3-inch amounts up here towards Nebraska as well. As this high pressure basically sits up over parts of western Texas into New Mexico. Got a nice little jet coming up and over this. So we have impulses of energy just riding up and over this thing, going northwest or northeast, then east, then diving southeast towards Florida. Also, we need to talk about the tropics here. And speaking of rare, we rarely see anything develop out here towards the Cape Verde Island or Verde Islands, just off of the African coast here. We have basically a 60% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days across this area. It says a tropical wave located between the west coast of Africa and the Cape Verde Islands is producing disorganized showers, thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear to be conducive for gradual development, and a tropical depression could form during the early to middle portions of next week. The system will continue to move westward at 15 to 20 miles per hour across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. We're probably going to be talking about at least 10 days or so before it even gets close enough to the United States to even talk about. But keep this in the back of your mind, because if this thing keeps going, keeps that trend to the west, and then maybe hits that slow northwest track, it can either go south of Puerto Rico here and south of Cuba here, and this right up into the Gulf, or this thing can start moving northeast or northwest, and then over here towards Florida or the East Coast. So we got to watch out for this, as it has a good chance of formation in the next 7 days, 60% chance of that. All right, so let's take a look at future radar. This is this evening. What's going to happen right now? Now, this is a little bit underdone. We have some pretty robust thunderstorms up here towards southern Missouri and northeastern parts of Arkansas, delivering basically some flash flood warnings up there. Like I said, 3 to 4 inches is coming down with some of these storms in an hour across parts of the area. And then a next cluster of storms up here towards Colorado is coming across into parts of Kansas, which is this is much needed rain across Kansas. You've been dealing with severe drought, so this is great news for you all. Just some scattered showers and storms back here towards midnight for Arkansas, parts of Mississippi, into maybe an isolated storm here over here towards Louisiana. So a little bit of quieter night across that area, which has been very hard hit over the past week or so. But then tomorrow, this is 2 o'clock tomorrow. As you can see, nothing's really going on, but then we're gonna have some storms firing across Texas yet again. This is the HRRR. We can take a look at the NAM here as well, just to give you guys a good idea. Now, this is not going to happen exactly like this, but it gives us a good depiction of what may happen. Okay, so as we get towards late tomorrow afternoon into the evening, nice little complex starting to form here. We got a clump. This HRRR is saying we're going to have a complex of storms around Dallas as well. We'll see. But this could be a big time severe threat if this happens across Texas. You could see an upgrade from SBC if this happens. If the trends continue like this, and then we have another complex out here towards parts of Kansas that's diving towards the southeast. And the big cluster of storms is knocking on the door of western Arkansas at 3 o'clock Sunday morning. And then this sucker really moves across Sunday morning across parts of northern Arkansas as another piece of energy dips down through southern Arkansas as well and heads towards Louisiana. I want to show you this too. This is air temperatures. This is very hot across parts of Texas and parts of Louisiana as well. Very hot across this area, and the heat indexes are going to be over 110 degrees in some spots as well. So like I said, we got a big high pressure basically just sitting over this area with impulses coming up and over, and basically sucking in all this heat and humidity. Just very unstable air mass. We've had some huge significant updrafts. We've had cloud tops on some of these storms 60 to 65,000 feet, which is crazy tall. Updrafts lately have been so strong. That's why we're getting this humongous hail across a lot of the area. And then it's going to continue, like I said. So let's take a look at the composite here. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and this is also saying there's going to be could be a little complex of storms riding through Dallas around 5 to 8 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And then here comes the next complex. See how this big Boeing segment's coming across Oklahoma? That's very concerning, because if that happens, you're going to have 80 to 90 mile an hour winds coming through the area with it could be basically a derecho if this happens across parts of Oklahoma and Kansas here. So we could have some widespread wind damage if this happens. Okay, if this happens like this. So it's knocking on the door 3 a.m. This is pretty good so far, except this cluster of storms is kind of dissipated down here across the south. That's the only difference between the NAM and the HRRR at the moment. And then this suck and these storms blast through Arkansas, northern Arkansas around 6 a.m. with another little line coming through around 10 to noon across the Little Rock metro area down through Hot Springs. Hot Springs has been very hard hit as well, especially with humongous hail over the past couple days. And then that tracks east with more severe storms coming into around Monroe, possible around late Sunday evening across that area. You're under slight risk as well on Sunday. And that thing is just really comes through the rest of Louisiana and then kind of dissipates as we head towards 1 o'clock on Monday. Let's go over to the east real quick. Alrighty. So let's take a look at the east here. We got a nice little complex of storms here, basically a boundary just setting up over parts of this area here. Just basically training of storms. That's why we're going to get so much rain down in Florida over the next few days, or up to that. Actually, the next 5 days, 5 to 7 days possible across parts of Florida. And as you can see, as we head towards 1 to 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we have a little like a lobe of low pressure wake low or something that's coming across parts of the Gulf of Mexico here, northeastern Gulf of Mexico, and riding into Florida. Big squall line of storms coming through, and then this little lobe of low pressure kind of goes out to along the Gulf Stream. This is interesting little feature coming out Monday. Maybe having to watch that. There might be a sneaky something tropical happen here across parts of the southeast. So we'll have to keep our eye on that. But this is just one model, like I said. But that's just a real interesting feature coming out of Georgia, heading through the Gulf of Mexico and then up across Florida, then starting to go across the Gulf Stream, which is very, very warm waters. So we'll have to watch that for sure. Another significant weather day tomorrow. Like I said, we're just going to recap real quick. So all of Oklahoma, western Arkansas, northeastern parts of Texas under the gun yet again tomorrow. Humongous gorilla hail possible, probably softball size, maybe even larger than that across this area. Maybe some isolated tornadoes, especially out here toward western parts of Oklahoma and up here towards Kansas, southwest Kansas as well. And then, like I said, humongous hail, huge hail, very damaging, destructive hail coming through this area, plus maybe a derecho coming through Oklahoma, which would deliver some widespread wind damage across most of Oklahoma if that plays out the way it looks as of right now. So 80 to 90 mile an hour winds is possible tomorrow, along with huge hail. All right, so stay weather-aware, have a way to get warnings. Please stay safe out there. You've got to have a way to get warnings and protect and protect yourself, your family, and your property as best as you can. All right. Like I said, stay safe, have a way to get warnings, be prepared. All right. And we will talk again soon. If you do not follow me on Facebook, follow Snowbird Bob on Facebook. If you're not seeing my post, please search my page daily. I will have another update in the morning. I'll probably have a midday update on YouTube as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Please stay safe out there.